Right, everybody, welcome back to What the Devil, episode 8. Today, Kane and I are joined by Flex and our special guest, Arthur TV. Arthur TV, obviously prominent on YouTube, but most importantly, is a Man United fan. Today, we're going to be talking about Raphael Varane, Erik Ten Hag, some of your hot takes, playing another fun Guess the Player game. And remember to listen on Spotify and Apple Podcasts if you're out and about and you can't watch YouTube. Apart from that, I think we'll get started. So, Raphael Varane, we spoke about this for a few weeks ago. But I think he should stay. A lot of people think he should go. But my argument with this is, if we were to sign a Raphael Varane replacement, right, that might cost us, 30 million or something, I don't know, at least to get a player of his quality into the side. And if the whole argument of letting him go saves money, I think it doesn't, because we'd have to spend so much money on his replacement.
But the replacement that you spend is someone that you can invest into, who can justify the price for the length of time and the availability. Raphael Varane's my favourite. It's no secret. I say there's no more Player FC. However, it's a little bit of a caveat, because I am Team Varane. I love him. I think he's so good.
Yeah, me too, man.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just proper like him. But just for the money that he's on, I do agree that £340,000 a week, because they're going to have to give him a new deal of that. So I think Man United have played this right, which is that we can't justify having Raphael Varane, who is with injuries in and out of the squad, and as he's getting older, that's going to probably intensify, on £340,000 a week. It's just, in the new Man United that we want to see, I just don't think we can have that. I think it's completely fair to say to him, we need you to be within this wage structure because we do want to keep you, so we're going to offer you something else. However, I just think he's a top player and he's won everything. So he's going to be like, no, I'm going to go Saudi, or I'll go back to France, or I'll whatever. I'm not going to stay here on 100 grand when I know I can go and get 220, 250 or whatever it's going to be.
The injury thing's interesting though, because Maguire's had more injuries than in this season. Like, I think it's obviously over a course of a longer period of time, but it's quite interesting because he's probably been one of our more available players. It's just that Ten Hag wasn't picking him at first.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think another factor is the centre-back market at the moment is actually quite good. Like, there's maybe price-wise, like Dale mentioned, it might be a bit spenny, but there's a lot of good young centre-backs coming through, so it could be a good time to look at it. But then also, especially when United aren't at the end product and you still have to defend deep, I don't think there's anyone better. Like, that, he's one of the best, like, proper, like, box defenders like there is, I think. I
just think we need. Obviously, it's very easy to say this, but you need the next Varane. You need the next young, up-and-coming guy that you can, have there for 5-6 years, build him up. And I need that aggressive, available, powerful, fast, quick, dominant.
That's tough though. Who doesn't want to? Exactly. Who doesn't want to centre back? Yeah. Like, with my thing, like, fair enough if, like, we've got young people coming into the team, there's people lining up, and it's time to move him on. Like, if Varane goes and a young player comes in, you only need that young guy or Lisandro Martinez to get injured, and then you've got Maguire or Johnny Evans. Fair play to them. They've actually both done pretty well when they've come into this. But if we're trying to become a top level team, like, you don't just go, we want, like, a really good centre-back pairing and then, we can settle with Maguire and Evans on the bench. Like, we want to be able to go, like, Lisandro Martinez is coming off. He's partnered with Varane, but let's bring Branthwaite on or whatever. Yeah. Like, we should buy the next Varane whilst we still have Varane. He's only 30.
I
mean,
the
same way you've got, like, Kroos and Modric still in the team, but you've got Valverde, you've got, like, Bellingham, they've got, Bellingham, they've Camavinga, Tchouameni, like, if we want to be a top team, like, we have to have the old guys going out at the same time as coming in. Because we could easily buy a new centre-back that we think will be the Varane replacement. Like, there's no guarantees that he's going to come in and be as solid as Varane is. And whilst we've got all these, like, changing room problems, like, having a guy like Varane who's, like, known to be a leader, pro, he's won it all, like, people look up to him. I know there was, like, some kind of, like, Ten Hag was maybe having issues with him earlier on in the season, like, only rumours, but other than that, like, I'd keep him. Like, he's one of the, like, only people in the team where I'm like, for another season, like, he's essential for me.
So for another season, that's what I mean. So he's coming to the end of his deal. So to keep him for another season, you have to keep giving him 340 grand a week. Are we all saying that that's all right?
Do you not think there can be a compromise there, or do you not reckon Varane's willing?
I hope. It just depends on him. He's just done so much in his career. He could just be like, no, I can go somewhere where it's going to give me a 3 or 4 year deal, say a 3 with a +1 or something at that. Well, he's 30, like he says. You could go and get a 4-year deal somewhere or a 3+1.
That is mad.
And be on a good. And be on. Yeah, exactly.
He's 2 years younger.
He's younger than Maguire.
He's 2 years younger than Van Dijk, who's still like. Yeah.
He's not ancient, of course. So I do agree that like, this is nothing to do with quality. This is economics, and this is us trying to trim our wage bill, and trim and go in a different way structurally. And listen, I would love there to be nothing better than there's a way that Raphael Varane can stay. But I do believe it has to be economically viable. I think because if we just go, oh, it's not our money, it don't matter, just do it. Like I just think we are just repeating the same things. Because then when it gets to, I promise you, when he has to have some time out, I did see he had a lot of time out of illness this year and just different times. Like when it gets to that, we're gonna be saying 340 grand. This is what the pattern's already been there for his whole career, and I love him, but I just can see it happening.
It is because I don't think it would be a playtime issue like with a new contract because he's quite he's spoken quite a lot about how he doesn't think how many games there are at the moment is right. Yeah. Remember what he said at the start of the season? So he probably wouldn't mind taking like a role where like someone like maybe Braithwaite comes in and they kind of rotate a little bit or someone else. But it's probably wages, which would be the main one.
And he's so good to learn off. Like he's not. There's nothing where he stays and it's detrimental to the team because he's still good. Yeah,
it would just still be like it would be. It's just one of those small things where you go. Ideally, we want to get rid of all of those. Like, ideally, you want to strip all of the 300k plus higher.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you have to look at it from that perspective. And I know we don't like to because we're like you said, it was like. Okay, fair enough. Like, what's it going to cost to get a replacement for him? He's only 30. It's not like he's ancient. You've got Pepe playing at 41.
He was unreal as well.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like, cool. And look how resilient and tough he is still. I don't know if Varane's going to be like that at 41. But you can look at it from how you're saying, which is a really good point, right? But like, what were Man United supposed to do in January? Were they supposed to, with Ineos and the takeover not even ratified yet, say to Raphael Varane, we'll trigger your extension and sign up to giving you £340,000 a week? Or do we not do that? Try to offer you, like you said, some sort of compromise? Because as far as I'm aware, they're still trying to keep him. They're trying to offer him something else. It's just whether or not Varane sees that. And we also do need to look at the type of player we're dealing with here. Prestigious player, won so much. He wants that security. He wants a certain lifestyle. I'm not saying he's short for a couple of bob, but like, we forget this is these players, it's their lives, it's their livelihoods. And when you come into the latter stages, the decisions you make are really key. He's got to weigh up how much is he going to play, how much money is he going to get, his family. Do you know what I mean? Versus if Lund's come back in and say, I tell you what, we'll give you what Man United are asking, but you can just come back home and just play every game. He might go, you know what, I'll just do that. Or, I don't know.
The Saudi option, I don't know whether Varane would take it, but that's a problem nowadays, isn't it? Where if you're not going to pay a player like Varane, like if that option was on the table, it probably would be a bit more competitive because United would go, no one else is going to really offer you what you're on right now. Whereas Saudi would slap his hand for it.
What are you saying, Dylan? Do you think?
I think if we end up without Raphael Varane, that's the worst possible outcome we can be with. And I feel like because of how much it's being talked about, it feels like too much of it's too high on the priority list for. No, I'll rephrase that.
There's other priorities higher.
There's other higher priorities that United need to, and really, really need to do. For example, sorting out selling Sancho, selling Greenwood, and selling a couple of other players, potentially a couple of the youth players like Mabry and Alvaro Fernandez and stuff.
But this is a priority because his contract come to an end, so they have to give him some. They have to do it.
Well, so
I'm saying if you want to keep him, it's got to be priority because he's out of contract.
Yeah, but I mean more in the way of the priority of like the saving money is too high of a priority, if that makes sense. Like if United end up not saving as much as they'd like, let's say he ends up signing at 280 rather than 220k a week, kind of thing. I still think it's completely worth it because not having him in the squad next season, I think, will hurt us quite a lot. Like, because things like you said, like he's only 30. I still think got a good couple of years left in him. Man, He's just a high quality centre back, probably our best box defender, as the phrase is that's always thrown around about him. Yes, and I'm just more slightly not, I want to say paranoid because that sounds a bit over dramatic, but
so paranoid.
I'm just in sweats at night thinking about it. No, I just feel like I am worried that he's going to go, and we'll lose him, and we'll lose a lot by losing him, just because we want to stand there and be like, no, we have to be firm. Like, get rid of Casemiro and get rid of his entire wage. I just feel like that will happen this summer, and I wouldn't be as bothered about Casemiro going as I would Raphael Varane. They're obviously, I think, the two highest earners at the club.
Yeah,
I want to say.
Well.
And Rashford.
Yeah, and Rashford.
But yeah, I just ultimately think if United have to bend over a little bit, or bend backwards a little bit to secure him for another season, maybe another 2 seasons, I think it is worth it.
Well, they can't give him a 1-year deal. This is what I mean about you have to make it look attractive to the player. If you say to Varane, yeah, okay, we'll give you a year's deal, he's going to say fuck off. He probably is. He's going to say you don't. I'm Varane. Yeah, I'm Raphael Varane. You don't keep me. You don't just give me a year. You need to give me 2+1, or you need to give me.
Would you be opposed to him getting a 2+1 contract if, let's say, he was to sign?
No, absolutely not. I wouldn't be opposed to that. He's my favourite guy. I want him to stay. I love Raphael Varane.
It's funny as well, because even though we say about, like, we haven't mentioned it, but Johnny Evans could leave at the end of the season. But Maguire's got interest. Like, Maguire might have interest. So, like, those guys might even leave as well. So then you might need to keep Varane, because you're not going to sign free.
Well, that's actually the bigger picture about, like, how much business we actually have to do at centre back.
So
because let's be honest,
there's a lot.
We've retained the little value that Lindelof has got by triggering his extension, so he has to go.
Yeah,
you've got to sell Lindelof, or you've got to give him a new contract, because then you're just going to go into the new season. It's going to get to January, and Lindelof's going to go for free.
Yeah,
they've got to sell Lindelof, I think. Yeah. But at Johnny Evans, you could say
he's been good this year.
Just give him another year, mate. Because we've got so much to change, I'll take.
Hopefully he doesn't have to play against Liverpool and City. And
do you know what I mean? You might say give him another year. Harry Maguire is the most sellable centre-back, can command the biggest
especially
fee.
mid-Euros, if he
goes to the line.
If he has another quality Euros, 35, 40 million on the table.
West Ham,
do you see what I'm saying? So you sell him if the money comes, because he's the biggest asset. So, and then there's this Varane situation where he might not even accept lesser wages or a smaller contract. So there's so much. So you're right. We're not going to be able to go and buy 4 centre backs. So we can't get rid of everyone. So I actually think this is kind of fascinating to see how this plays out, because it isn't just about Varane. We have to see who buys Lindelof for like 10 million or something.
20, I think.
How old is he?
Left. He's 30, 31, but like he's got a year left. I don't think he gets 20.
Is he? He's a bit younger.
30,
I thought he was a bit younger.
Oh, we signed him in like 2015 or 16 or something, didn't we?
Jose.
He was a Mourinho.
He's 2017 maybe.
Yeah, but there's a lot of moving parts at centre back.
You speak about financial as well. You might be better off, because, like you said, Maguire's probably a more sellable asset than Varane. So what would you rather, getting Varane's wages off, or an extra? How much do you reckon Varane would go for? Maybe 20.
You can't pay for anything. He's free.
Oh, of course.
So this is what I'm saying.
An extra like 30 to 40 mil potentially from Maguire. Like, you're weighing up different options there.
Exactly. So
that's just kind of along my line of thinking. Is I think, as much as it's made about save X 100k a week on Varane's contract, or 300k a week if he goes, United would be able to make a lot more by keeping him and selling other players, which is kind of what I meant when I say it's like too high on the priority list. Whereas, like, I think Sandro Martinez is the player obviously least likely to go out of all the centre-backs, because he's going nowhere for hopefully a long time. Yeah. And then next to that, then I think it's Varane.
That's the most likely to go, because he's out of contract.
No, but as in terms
priority-wise.
To keep.
Yeah.
So Lisandro Martinez least likely to keep, and then I would put Varane as second.
Yeah.
Ability-wise, It's only 'cause
who should stay.
Yeah.
And letting him go, and then meaning if we let him go, and then let's say we keep Johnny Evans for another year, we probably will, because it's just a 1-year extension. And
then
he has been outstanding this season compared to what people thought he would be.
Yeah.
Just overall, I'm worried, and I really think United should keep, even if it means conceding a little bit, because of this unique situation. And I don't think it sets a precedent for the club either to do that every time, because I think the reason people are saying is get rid of these high players, set a new president, no one gets his wages. But I think with this situation, if they were to do it with Varane, Ineos were to kind of give him that slightly higher wage, even if it's slightly reduced rather than majorly reduced, I don't think it starts setting a precedent that
Yeah,
United
because
are gonna
other
give out
players
big
can't come in.
contracts.
Like if you go, oh Manu, you've had like a great half a season, we'll give you a massive deal. Like every young player that comes in goes, I want the exact same thing 6 months in, you've got a big problem. If you give Varane a big deal, you just like, no one else is going to come. Someone else comes in and goes, I want them to match Varane. It's like, go win a bunch of UCLs, like go win a bunch of league titles, captain your national team, and then come talk to me about big wages. So, yeah, I don't worry about it setting a precedent at all.
Also, reports have said like even though there's a Ineos want that wage structure, they're willing to allow certain things. So yeah, it's an interesting one to watch out for.
Yeah. What we're going to do next is, I think, gentlemen, you will have some of these behind you. Arthur, I believe you'll have one behind you somewhere.
Is there another board there, Raphael?
Oh, there's another one underneath you.
Is there another board?
Yeah.
We're going to be playing Guess the Player. So, I am going to read out a clue, and then you guys have got to try and guess who the player is. And I've got 3 clues. There are 5 players in total, and the clues go from hard, slightly less hard, to hopefully fairly easy. And you guys literally have got to try and guess quickly.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
we're doing it on 3, 2, 1, or
yeah, I'll give you like 10 seconds, 15 seconds. Write down a name, and then we'll head off.
No, Arthur.
Yeah, no cheating.
Don't you show me.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, first one. I made my debut against Newcastle.
Oh God, I don't know.
Yeah, if you don't know, just pass.
I'm going to be a bit... Yeah, okay.
Go on, Kane, TikTok. Arthur, have you got? Maguire, no, you've got... Kane's got Herrera, who have you got? Neither of those 3.
Oh, that's a great
Next
shout.
one. I left United to join Lyon.
Oh.
Still the same player.
Right.
Kane, you've gone for Memphis. You've gone Angel Gomez. You've gone for Memphis as well, Flex. It is not. Last one, you should get this.
You're taking the piss.
You should get this one.
How was it not?
I was convinced it was Dubai.
Yeah.
Last clue. I have more Man United appearances than my brother.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, no, there's 2. Oh, wait, what was the second one? What was the second one again? Oh, I don't know how to spell it.
All 3 of you have put Raphael, I assume, Da Silva?
Yes.
Yeah, you'd be correct.
Yeah.
Raphael Da Silva.
Bloody hell. It wasn't
Crikey.
Memphis, no?
No.
Oh, he did go to Lyon.
Yeah, he did.
Do you know, I
don't remember him going to Lyon, actually,
I couldn't
after
remember
that.
the second question, so I was thinking, was it Gary Neville?
Yeah.
I couldn't remember the second question.
Listen, Gary and Phil did not...
I was going
went
to
to
put more than
Lyon.
my twin, and I thought twin was too obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Second one. I left on a free contract.
Jesus.
Brilliant.
It's always a really vague
I
one.
told you he's harsh. With the...
One of you will have coldest moments.
Yeah, this is like, there's a few good options.
Pogba, De Gea. Not correct. Second one. I went on Diary of a CEO.
What?
Oh. I should know this.
Oh. Yeah.
I don't know. I'll pass.
Arthur, you've gone for Gary Neville. Flex, you've gone for Jesse Lingard. It is Jesse Lingard.
Lingard.
Lingard, mate.
He went
on Diary of a
he
CEO.
went on
Diary
Diary
of a
of a
CEO.
CEO. Yeah,
He did,
and
yeah.
he just slated the whole club.
Oh,
Yeah. Said Edward would done him over. Ollie done him over.
And then
He
he
wasn't
signed,
happy.
and then he signed for a South Korean team.
Big up, Jesse.
Yeah.
What happened to Gary Neville at the end of his career? Was he?
No, he
just
just stopped
retired
after West
straight
Brom.
away.
He went, I'll tell you
Yeah.
what, my legs are gone, mate. I'm off.
He had like
So-
one game where he like
Got
absolutely
rinsed by
stunk,
Jerome
didn't he?
Thomas.
Oh,
Yeah.
dear.
And he went,
Yeah,
I
and he
can't.
just basically gave it from the changing room,
Said I
didn't he?
can't do
And
it,
then
yeah.
now he's a multi-millionaire. Fair place to him.
Yeah, and he was then as well.
Yeah, not like he was doing bad.
He was broke then, and now he's about, he's gone from rags to riches.
Yeah.
Played for Man United for over like 500-600 games, and now he's rich.
Next one. I almost read out the player's name. I captained England for 3 years. Harry Maguire says Arthur, Beckham. Say the other 2. No.
Not actually. Oh, disgraceful. Oh.
Oh yeah, I need to read out that.
He's already pre-played it. Oh.
Wayne Rooney called me annoying last week.
You can't change it. Wayne Rooney called him annoying?
Annoying the other week. For the audio listeners, Flex decided to write Wayne Rooney before I'd even read out the question.
Does that mean that I'm out? Or?
Nah, go.
Now you can have another
Right.
guess.
What was the second clue?
Called me annoying.
Wayne Rooney called me annoying last week.
He wasn't England captain though, was he?
Yeah, I
But
think
he was
I
with
don't
him.
know. if-
He was with him last week.
I ain't got anything for this one.
Not got anything, Arthur?
Yeah.
You've put
I would have gone for
G Neville.
You've put Gary Neville for
Yeah.
Kane, you've put Rio Ferdinand
It's
Flex.
Not, it's not really.
It's not either of those two.
Called me annoying?
Last one, I played for 2 Premier League clubs.
No, this person did not captain England.
Played at Man United, and Rooney called him annoying.
Play for 2 Prem
It's
clubs.
not Gary Neville, but he played at
Captained England?
Was like England captain for 3 years.
Are you sure about this?
That
Are you
could
sure
have-
your stats?
According to my
That could only be
research,
one tournament, to be fair.
Yeah, true. And like just like the international friendlies in between.
Yeah, in between.
okay, I may have made a mistake.
I'm thinking,
Oh!
nah, you are a disgrace. You are an absolute. I'm thinking this ain't adding up.
No.
Come on then, I
What's the-
want you
what's
to
the
confess
mistake?
all of your sins. What have you copped up?
He was not captain for 3 years.
Ah,
in
you
England.
see?
Was he captain?
He has captained England previously.
For
Phil
like
Neville?
one game.
Phil Neville.
I thought it was as well.
I tell you
Like, in
what.
my head, I was going, Phil Neville was not captain of
Yeah,
England
no, that
for
was
3
the only
years.
thing stopped me.
He might have just had it in a friendly. And, do you know what I mean?
He's captaining. So what I misread was he's captained England
3
in
times.
2007 and 2010, and I thought it said
Oh,
2007
07
to
to
2010
Oh.
So he's captained them twice.
over
I think
3
all
year
3 of
period.
us should get a point there because
Disgrace. Oh shit, I haven't even ticked the ones I got right.
I got.
So you thought the 2008 World Cup was at South Africa, or was Phil Neville leading the charge?
Oh, that's a really good point. That's
And the
embarrassing.
2010 Euros.
Mental.
That's crazy.
Oh, that's well embarrassing.
Absolutely mental.
Was
I'll
that the
chalk,
other way
I'm
around?
going to chalk that one down to dyslexia.
Oh,
What is that? Was that question 3?
That was question 3.
Yeah. So
So we've had Raphael da Silva, Jesse Lingard, and Phil Neville,
Two.
ex-England captain.
08 was Euros, actually, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What was
Well,
that? What
South,
was
Africa-
that?
South- South- go.
South Africa was 2010.
Yeah.
So 2008, I can't remember where that was.
I think we
I
didn't
mean,
go,
I
did
was
we?
only 7.
Do we not?
I don't remember.
Or was that when Italy won the World Cup? Was 2008 Italy? Or was that?
No,
was
that
think
was not.
Italy
It was.
was-
It was Euros. Oh wait.
Oh wait, it was Euros.
Yeah.
Alright.
I don't know.
Yeah.
where.
It
Oh yeah, I
it
remember
was-
the
it
vapors
was
that came
Spain.
out, the level ones.
It was Spain, because it was part of Spain won the
Yeah.
08 Euros, 2010 World Cup, then 2012
I
Euros.
can't remember.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Next one. I made 61
Phil
appearances
Neville.
in 6 years at United.
61 appearances in 6 years.
It's not
Someone
a lot, is it?
who's-
Bloody
Not a
sick
lot.
note. Who's a sick note? 61 appearances in 6 years.
That's quite.
10 games a season. That's weird amount. Youth players?
Jones played more than that.
Yeah, 100%.
61 appearances in 6
6
years.
Quite.
Even a youth player, it's a long time to be there, hardly playing.
Oh, I feel like this is.
Oh, is it? No, he weren't there that long. I'm going to go for it though. But I don't think he was there that long though.
I feel like this is wrong, but
So Kane's put Fossey
I've got
Mensah.
nothing yet.
Arthur's got nothing. You said, is that
Romero.
Sergio Romero? That's correct.
Oh, Fleck!
Romero.
Oh, you beauty!
That's a cold moment too.
Oh, look
That is-
at that,
that
mate.
is
Because I was thinking, it's got to be a key. It's got to be someone who don't play
Yes,
that often, but they're
some-
happy to
some
be there for
people-
a
There's
long time.
Oh, cup runs, I guess.
yeah.
Yeah, he played
yeah.
a couple
Goalkeeper.
cup games.
As well, what a goalkeeper.
Yeah, best number
He
two in the
actually
league
was
for
quite
years.
good,
It's
yeah.
not quite
Looking
good.
back,
He was really good.
He was
Yeah.
probably better than De Gea, really. If you had put him in that final,
That's a bit of a
Ooh.
controversy.
would he have saved one of those
Probably.
I would
11
say-
penalties?
Yeah, yeah,
Probably.
yeah, yeah.
I would say that Romero at his worst at United wasn't as bad as De Gea at De Gea's
I don't
worst
remember
at United.
Romero having a worst. He just always
No,
came in
Romero's
and
It was
was
always
just
solid.
As in, like,
good.
yeah, it was always. The other two things were for him was, the other one was I played in one European final, the Europa League, and I was awarded the 2007 FIFA Under-20 World Cup Golden Glove.
Oh, what a clue that is.
But when you would have said Golden Glove, I think
Yeah.
we would have.
Yeah,
got
that's why I
it.
put it there, because goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Final one. I captained Man United at every level.
Ooh. Does it just need to be like one-time captain or being the club captain?
Like captained United at every level.
So just worn the armband, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a
But actually, I don't think he would have been that good a leader when he was little. So I'm going to say no. Actually, no, I'm going to stick with my gut.
Arthur, have you got anyone?
Beckham.
David Beckham, you've got Gary Neville,
McTominay.
Kane's got Scott McTominay. It was not either of those three.
I was thinking that.
I was thinking mine was proper outside the box there.
McTom.
Yeah.
Next one. My career at United never really worked out.
Oh, that's subjective then.
I think this one's pretty unanimous.
No clues, mate.
I think someone needs it. So Flex and Kane are going for Paul Pogba. You got anyone, Arthur? Last one. I played for Aston
He
Villa.
didn't even play for Aston.
Oh yeah, it wasn't Pogba.
Played for Aston Villa.
Villa, but he's come through at United and captain at every level.
But captain at every level, so he must have been a youth player that's
Yeah,
gone there.
United.
For,
A youth player that ended up going to Villa.
And it never really worked out for him.
Zabi didn't.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to go for. I'm going to go
that's
for
a
a.
good
I'm going to go
shout.
for a rogue.
yeah.
Go on, Kane, 5 seconds.
The only person who I can only just think of Ashley Young, who played for both clubs. Oh, that's a good shout. Yeah, I
Kane,
didn't
you've
have
gone
anything.
for
Didn't have
no
anything.
one. Axel Twanzebe Flex. Axel
Yeah,
Twanzebe
I've
Arthur.
not nabbed that from him.
But he has
It is.
copied me. He has copied me. He's gone. Oh, that's a good shout.
You get the assist on this one.
Yeah, and it was Twanzebe. Yeah, he captained
That's a
United.
great
at
shout.
It's the only
every
youth
level
player
in
that
the
I
youth
can
player.
think.
Yeah.
People,
So-
that's a sad. I'm sad that that never worked out. Like,
Same.
the way people gassed him up when
Especially
he was
after
in the
that
youth, like,
Mbappe,
yeah,
the
packaging him
PSG
in that
game.
PSG.
And
Yeah.
mate, he was fantastic for them in the championship when they came up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a
Brilliant.
proper
Him and
fan favourite.
Abraham that year were
loved
fantastic.
it.
So I was like, right, brilliant. Either leave him at Villa for the year, but then we brought him back and he just
And he didn't
just
play.
couldn't get in.
We've done
Shock.
that so many
We do it
times
to
where
everyone.
like, a player has a good loan and then Ahmad this season.
But they come in and we don't even watch them in their shit. Like we just never
Yeah.
see them.
Yeah, they just don't
What's
exist.
happened?
You don't get to like judge. They're just like.
I don't remember like
you'll play
back
2
to back
games.
Axel Twanzebe stinkers or same with Diallo. Like
Yeah.
it must just be training, I guess. They must
Yeah.
be like
Whether they're ready for the level.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Ahmad thing is a bit weird, isn't it?
so weird.
Yeah.
Was that all?
Yeah, that's the 5
I
players.
think I got 4.
Yeah, I think you did.
4. That's not bad. I think I got
Take it.
minus
I got
1.
2. I think.
Yeah, I think I get -1 for the Phil Neville.
Disgrace.
Yeah.
That was, I will hold
You
my
should
hand.
be off Quizmaster.
I still
for
my mind was going like, there's no way.
You know what, Kane, you can host next time.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I'll make the questions easier.
Yeah, so
But go
one topic that kind of constantly surrounding United at the moment is Erik ten Hag and his job. We've spoken about it a couple of times before. We've had debates about should he stay, should he go, and obviously the next game, Liverpool game, massive game, because as I've seen you say before, Flex, it's United's, the FA Cup is United's last thing this season, really. Like, being realistic, we're 11 points off top 4.
8 off
or
Villa.
8 points off top
Yeah,
4
but, yeah.
with 10 games left. That's a massive margin to try and climb for a team who is so inconsistent like we are. FA Cup represents pretty much our last chance at anything fun this season. And if we go out, the season's suddenly feeling like there's actually nothing left to play for. And if there's nothing to play for, what's Ten Hag got left to help prove himself?
Nothing.
Yeah.
So I think if United suffer a bad loss in this game, let's say, 2-0 annihilation, kind of played off the park, 4-0 or another 7-0 at Old Trafford, it could be bad.
Yeah, I'm thinking as well. When was the last time we would have had nothing to play for by like March? Because even some of the poor seasons, FA Cup
the Ralph
final.
Rangnick season, we got Europe on the last day,
Yeah.
and we lost against Brighton, and I think we lost against Crystal Palace, and Brighton beat West Ham, or West Ham beat Brighton, so we managed to get Europa League actually, but.
And most times, even if
Yeah.
having a poor season, we're still in the quarterfinals of the Europa League or something. But this time, we don't even have that.
No.
Yeah.
I think it would, if we suffered a damaging defeat, I think it would, the people who already think that Ten Hag might not be the man, it would just solidify their point, especially if it was a bad one. I don't know necessarily how much it changes what Ineos are going to do, because my opinion is that I just feel like they will change him. I feel they've decided that already. And I don't think by losing heavily to Liverpool on the weekend, if we were to, they would sack him on the spot or anything like that with like 10 games to go. It's just not going to happen, is it? It's not going to happen. So it's weirdly a job decider, but not. Like, it would just make all the fan base just give up for the rest of the season. It would just, like, everyone would just be like, the season's over. What's the point in even watching any games? And then we've got to play Liverpool again in the league as well. And it's like, if you get 2 beatings off Liverpool, like, at home, because they're our 2 biggest games left in the season, like, in terms of get up for it loud. We've got Arsenal second to last game of the season, but things will just be,
that'll just be.
It's not going to come down to the top 4. And
that could be jokes if we derail their top. Oh no, well it won't be, because it'll be Liverpool or City.
Yeah, exactly.
I hate this game.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Out of the 3 of them, I want Arsenal to win the league, and I never thought I'd say that, and I've now said that.
Yeah.
Recorded. So
I only want City to win it because I don't know any City fans. Like, there were none at my school, there were none at my uni.
I know one.
Kieran Carlin is the only one, and he's half Schalke anyway, so I'll just mute him for the day on Twitter and I'll have peace. Whereas Arsenal fans, Liverpool, they're everywhere.
Yeah, they are everywhere.
Yeah, that is the main thing with every United fan I hear. It's like, I want Arsenal to win it because the other 2 are like worse, but also it would be more annoying for Arsenal to win it for my personal life.
Yeah,
like,
I don't even like talking about this. It's such a horrible.
No, but I jump on the shit. I've decided a long time ago. Just can't, mate. If they're saying you chat shit to you, mate, you've won your first title in 20 years, mate. Well done. Like, just got to look at it like that, rather than someone coming and doing 4 in a row, which we never did.
Do
you know what I mean? And potentially a double treble, which we never did. Arsenal have your first little thing in 20 years. Cool. I can mute you or just But in terms of the job decider thing, I just feel like nothing will change for him immiettely. Like, he's just not, no matter what happens, he's not going to get sacked on the spot.
This is all quite pessimistic chat as well, because we are going like,
yes,
if we lose, what about if we win?
Yeah.
In terms of job decider, could this be like if he goes out there and we play well against Liverpool, we get a 1-0, a 2-1 or something, which could happen. I mean, they're probably going to beat us.
I think they might rotate though. I think Liverpool might rotate. Then again, they don't have a big squad.
But do you think if that happens, Ineos go, actually, you know what, maybe if we weren't going to give him time, maybe give him another... Because I do agree, it does sound a lot from most reports that Ineos have made up their mind and they're changing him. But every now and then you do hear maybe it'd be unfair to judge him without our structure in place. And I mean, I don't know about you guys, whether you guys are particularly Ten Hag in or out, but I would love to see him for another season with a team that hopefully next year we don't get riddled with injuries. I would just love to see a Martinez Varane at the back, a Casemiro where he's in decent form, and just see how that team does just for one season.
I think he's done, man.
Casemiro or Ten Hag.
Can't pass. He can't. He's
mate, that game the other day where he misplaced 6 in the first 7 minutes.
As much as again he's won his pedigree and stuff, but I can see it
when
with
you
my
watch
eyes.
it,
It's not that's not the way to move forward. It's not.
I saw a tweet which kind of made me laugh the other day. You've got Casemiro and Mainu on the park. Mainu looked like the 5-time Champions League winner. And Casemiro looked like the 18-year-old just coming through.
But does this not make you go how are we judging Ten Hag that harshly? A bit of a cringe comparison. People hate the FIFA comparisons. If you're playing FIFA against your mate who's playing as Real Madrid, and you're tapping X and your player's not passing it, doing a simple pass.
That's a really good point.
You're there
what can I do?
I can't necessarily say you're better than me at FIFA. It's my players are just not doing. And if you're Ten Hag going however he set up the team tactically, whatever he's told them, if Casemiro is misplacing a bunch of simple passes and we're losing possession constantly because of it, and McTominay can't control the ball and he's getting robbed of it, what can Ten Hag actually do?
Well, play Amrabat, who he brought in, and then he comes in and he can't pass.
And he can't pass either. Exactly. And it's
you know what I mean? We've got Eriksen there, and we got him on a free, he can pass, but then he can't move.
And when Casemiro was playing well and Eriksen was playing well, we got 3rd in the league. We won a trophy. Yeah. We did well. I would love to see it, and Ten Hag given a chance with a team that's actually where everyone's in decent form. Because if you're going how are you not doing better with this team? Fair enough. But we can't go Ten Hag should be out and just going only one of our centre-backs, Lisandro Martinez, should stay. Our best centre midfielder, for the last year, his legs have gone, he can't pass. What's Ten Hag actually supposed to be doing at the moment?
I kind of agree. I more agree with the off-field points. I think I've said this in previous weeks where it's I'd quite like him to have another year, so then there's not all the off field. Like hopefully Ineos kind of sort stuff off the field out, and he can actually just focus on the football, which some reports say that he doesn't want to, but he wants to still be involved. But I wouldn't mind. I feel like, but then it's such a gamble, isn't it? Because I guess Ineos want their own man, and if they're not fully thinking that Ten Hag is their man, and they go, oh, we could give him a year just to see. That could be like a year.
Who are you going to bring in that isn't a gamble? Who are you going to bring in for?
True.
If Pep Guardiola was free, you'd be like, fair enough. But you bring like that was Inzaghi from Inter, which is like the one that everyone's saying they want the most, like.
Or Southgate.
Oh God, is that like there's not
a clear
an obvious
option.
Manager that's like a proven winner where it's like, why are we gambling on Ten Hag when he's there? Like.
Yeah, I see what you mean there, to be fair. I don't really think the manager market is amazing right now. And there are maybe a couple, but there's like 6 big clubs looking for managers.
There's not a lot of dead
so
certs. That's the problem in the managers market. But also you have to look at it like clubs are moving. Clubs need managers. And if Man United aren't at the party and don't act, if they don't believe Ten Hag's the right man, Ineos, then they're going to be behind.
Yeah.
Barcelona need a manager. Liverpool need a manager. Bayern Munich need a manager. Chelsea will probably need a manager knowing them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, if Poch finishes 10th, 11th, and, you know, they might just go, actually, you know what? That could be 4 or 5 big opportunities there. Then you add Man United into that. That's a big pool. And it's like, if you are last of the party to get the scraps, like you said, then it's like...
I reckon we get scraps anyway. Like, if you're a top manager and you're going like, I want my next challenge, you look at Man United at the moment, you just go, it's a shit show. Like, why do I want to go there?
To be fair, with the Ineos stuff, I think that, and maybe it's a little bit biased.
But you're not picking United over Liverpool right now, if you're going to manage.
The Ineos stuff, I think, makes United a massive wild card for managers. Like, it's like how ballsy do you think you are?
That, like the Dan Ashworth thing of like, and Omar Barada, he's coming from the best. Omar Barada has literally just come from the best and literally gone to the worst. Like, for the challenge. Because he's like, actually, it's not just being like third in line. I'm going to go to the top of this organisation, the worst, and try and restore it. And that too, it depends, like you said, what minerals you got as a manager, as a CEO, as a sporting director. Do you have the minerals to go, it's a shit show, but I think I can be one of the spearheads and go down in history as one of the ones to change that around. And Jim Ratcliffe even said it, didn't he?
Yeah.
In his
he
speech,
said it about Ashworth.
He said it. He's got the chance to basically turn that around, which is very appealing to driven people.
And also, it's like, it's not kind of like a broken promise almost. Like if it was before Ineos came in, I feel like it was starting to get to that point where people would go, oh look, you can change United around, and they go, look at what's been happening. Like, what have you changed?
Yeah.
Whereas now I think it's quite an easy sell for Ineos, to be fair, because they can just say this is new. So it can. I feel like some managers still might, because it's such a difficult job to do. But the opportunity, I think
there's so much as well to like fix in the club, like
so many
prioritize given there isn't an obvious manager, and whoever is available we're going to be competing with Liverpool, Barcelona, whoever, like leave him and just sort like loads of the other stuff out, like get a decent young midfielder in who's going to, you know, take Casemiro's place, get a right winger involved, like you know, there's just so much stuff that we need to fix before we go, like
you've got to have the right guy to orchestrate them guys though. You've got to have the right tactics when we do get these players.
I'm not too like, I wouldn't mind seeing Ten Hag have another year for those for the on pitch, and to be fair, for the off pitch stuff. But also, like, I think you can't, even though it is an excuse and everyone kind of takes the mick out of it, the injuries are mad.
100%.
They are mad.
It's crazy.
You see how different we played when Martinez came back, and all of a sudden we were like,
2 games,
and he's in half games.
And he's back for Brentford.
You know, if he's fit for a
now.
season, maybe we have a season where it's like, oh my God, we actually can keep possession for more than 30 seconds.
And have a summer where Ten Hag, hopefully, if he stays, where he agrees to not buy everyone from Ajax. And you've got some big players kind of like Ashworth making the calls instead of him.
Yeah, just one final thing. So for the Liverpool game, score predictions?
2-1. United.
2-0 United.
2-0 United. What do you think, Arthur?
3-1 United.
3-1 United.
Yeah. I want to bring some positivity
Yeah.
back to these
Yeah.
fan channels.
And you know what?
positive
I've got
vibes
faith in a lot of these
You've got to be all
teams.
in. You've got to be all
Manu has
in.
a great game. Garnacho, Rashford have a great game.
Rashford's
Garnacho's looking so good on the right, I think.
Who
I know
knows what can happen?
I know last week we were speaking about it. we spoke about it at the worst time, didn't we? He should be dropped. Gets 2 penalties the next game.
Yeah, Dylan was like, nah,
Yeah.
mate, nah, put him on a bench, mate. It's pretty much 2 pens.
Yeah, that was bad call from me. I think I put the...
No, but your reasonings was right. though.
The reasonings were
but
right.
I think, he also got me a load of fantasy points, so can't complain. But one player who's coming back is, as with every time we have a guest on the episodes, we like to test their Manchester United ball knowledge a little bit. So I've got a list of questions I'm going to fire at you, Arthur. You've got 2 minutes to try and get as many right as you can. Currently 3 is the lowest score, so I think as long as we're getting higher than 3, you'll be all right.
The score to beat. Not sure I will, but we'll see what happens.
And your time starts now. Who did United last defeat 9-0?
Southampton.
Correct. Which twin brothers played for Manchester United?
Raphael da Silva and Fabio da Silva.
Correct. Name 3 of the class of 92 players.
Giggs, Scholes, Neville.
Very good. Who is Manchester United's oldest ever player?
Oldest, as in currently living age-wise? What do you mean oldest?
Just
player?
ever. The oldest ever person to play for Manchester United.
Giggs.
Edwin van der Sar. Who is United's second all-time top goal scorer?
Bobby Charlton.
Correct. Which 2 stands at Old Trafford are named after people?
Sir Alex Ferguson stand and the Sir Bobby Charlton stand.
Correct. Who has scored the most penalties for Manchester United?
Wayne Rooney.
Bruno Fernandes. Who is United's current number 17?
Current number 17. Garnacho.
Correct. Is Amad Diallo the first Manchester United player to play for the Ivory Coast?
No, Bailly.
Correct. Well, no, he's not. How many loans has Erik Ten Hag transferred in so far?
3.
5. How many Premier League goals did Cristiano Ronaldo score when he broke the record for most goals in one season? Premier League goals.
30.
31. Close. Who was the last captain of Manchester United before Harry Maguire?
Pass.
Ashley Young. What is Brian Robson's nickname at Manchester United?
Bobby Robson.
Captain Marvel.
Oh.
Who did Sir Alex Ferguson want to be the United number 7 before David Beckham took the shirt?
Pass.
Roy Keane. Old Trafford is situated on what road?
Sir Matt Busby Way.
Correct. Which player had a chant labelling them the greatest player in the Premier League? And that is time. The answer was Juan Mata.
Nice.
So how many was that? 8.
Not bad.
Not bad, Arthur.
Yeah.
Well done.
That oldest player ever, like, that could mean so many things.
One player who's coming back is Mason Mount after his 1-month injury from his calf problem, whatever happened. And yesterday we tweeted out for some people to tell us their kind of hot takes. What do you think? That's maybe a controversial opinion. And one from United Tones is that Mason Mount will be one of our best players over the next 5 years. I think Mount's
Look at the profile picture.
Yes, fair enough.
Just Mason. That's Mount on his burner.
Yeah, 100%. It's his brother. His brother does it.
It's a bit cool.
What do you think?
I'm not too I wouldn't be surprised because even though it's been a poor first season, I think he I guess it depends manager wise. Like there might maybe a new manager who might not like him too much, but I do think even if he's not going to be a star player in your team, I think he's a useful player to have in the squad. Ignore how much you paid for him with 12 months remaining on his contract, and he would have only played 10-15 games, but. I think he will be maybe not one of the best, but I think he'll be a useful player for United over the next 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, I think maybe the statement of one of our best. Well, it doesn't say the best. It says one of.
Yeah.
So people know on the channel that I've got a lot of faith in Mason Mount. I still do. Me and Owen not argue about this, but Owen always pushes back and he's like, yeah, but he's one big injury. If he gets another big injury like this, he's done because the whole season's been injured. And then if he does it next season, it's like,
Yeah.
okay, well, you've got to get rid.
Yeah.
Because you paid, and I get that, the return on investment is not, so I agree with that. But I still have a lot of hope, like what United Tones is basically getting at. That, and like what you're saying there, Kane, like he's a very good player, I think. I think he's a good footballer, competent footballer. I don't think he's like going to be the star man, but I think he's going to be part of a cog that like is important for the team when it's polished and when you want it to play in a technical way and keep the ball properly and manipulate the ball and have movement and rotations. I just think he gets the game, and he's a good player. We just need him to be fit, and I understand it to be that he was told like, this season don't worry, by Sir Dave Brailsford and Ineos and stuff. Apparently they've said to him, just get yourself fit, don't worry about it. And I think that's what's going to happen. He'll get back onto the bench. I don't think he'll start too many more, because he's been out for so long. It's going to take a while to get up to speed. So he'll have a few subs appearances, which is quite hard to get any momentum anyway. So I think his season will just be just a few minutes here and there, maybe a start here and there. But I don't think it's going to be amazing. And next season's when we're going to.
It might have not been really long, but a period of the season where he was looking really good, like starting a few games in a row, and then obviously I think. Did he have like a smaller injury and then the longer one? I think.
Yeah, he did. He got injured like I think very early, like maybe
he got
near
injured
after
against Spurs,
and then was out for a bit. Then he came back,
Had
and
a
then
little
Erik
bit of
wasn't even
form.
using him.
Oh, that was it. Yeah.
Just didn't really play him, and then he got injured, and he's been ain't seen him since.
You know what I can see with Mount with that kind of thing. Like, I think we all agree he's not going to be like in the shouts for like best midfielder in the world. But the way Dallow's come on this season and just been like super reliable, super solid, every game dropping like 7.5, like big part of the team. I think Mason Mount could be that for us. And how long have we been crying out for someone in midfield who's just consistently good, technically works, like tracks back, follows his man, makes the pass when he needs to make the pass. Like, he might not come in and bang, 10, 15 goals and assists a season or whatever. But like, we just need more of these people who like week in, week out drop decent, solid games.
A good floor raiser. I felt like Dallow this season has been a really good floor raiser for like our basic technical ability.
Yeah,
they both seem like quite Dallow especially. I think they both seem like quite good, just professionals as well.
He's at young age, 100%.
That's what you need.
Right
as well.
attitude, definitely.
Yeah, right attitude.
Yeah, no, I personally really like Mason Mount, not just because about 5 comments on every single podcast episode is, you don't like Mason Mount, Dylan, isn't it Mason Mount? Which, me getting the
comment
haircut
below
as well, even shorter, shout out Dimitris for that.
Mason Mount
He asked for the
Well, he doesn't have that one anymore, but when he was at Chelsea, he had that one, innit?
Yeah, was an accident. But I do think that Mason Mount will become a good return on investment because he's only 24. I want to say maybe he's turned 25 this year.
Yeah.
And the way he plays isn't exactly a way of playing that kills players off. Like, say, for example, the way Wayne Rooney played obviously killed him off in his career fairly
and started
early.
at 16.
He's a kind of a more
he was
technical,
a 30-year-old at 16.
solid,
easy,
nice kind of good player. And and he was fantastic at Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea
People
fans
think
loved him.
Mason Mount was, didn't he win
Player of
their
season, like,
Yeah, I was about to say, he is a fantastic player, and I really think he can become good for us as a floor raiser.
One thing which I always notice about Mount is he always plays it like 2-3 touch.
Yeah.
When he's on the pitch, it's like touch, pass. Yeah. Whereas United, you've got so many players who hold on too long.
Exactly.
It's another Ten Hag thing, like just adding Lisandro Martinez instead of any of those centre backs apart from Varane, and adding Mason Mount instead of McTominay, and I swear the game changes.
Yeah.
Second one, kind of touching on the subject of Ten Hag and injuries a bit, is Ten Hag cannot blame our injuries for our performances this season. Win, lose or draw, we see the same performances in every game with the same issues and attitude the whole team portrays. Whose fault is it if the team is making schoolboy errors every game?
Ooh, what came first, chicken or the egg? It's one of them, isn't it? Because there has been some games, I agree with what you're saying, Arthur, that you look at them and you go, oh my God. Like, I had a moment like that, what was the last game, Everton?
Yeah.
McTominay was in a 10. I don't know if you guys remember a couple passes of play where he was sort of on the ball and he just needs to play someone in. Can't remember who it was.
A really easy counter kind
and
of
he just, I don't want to swear, he just absolutely ruined it because he just doesn't have the technical.
There was one when he was trying to send Rashford through, I think, and he overhits the ball straight to the goalkeeper before Rashford even moved. It
was that.
And I was going, you're approaching the final third and you smack the ball like it's a goal kick.
Mental. It's like he has zero technical ability, which to Ten Hag's fairness, the way he's used Scott McTominay is off the bench, get in the box, get me a goal.
Crash bang.
But because of injuries and other players not being up to scratch, he has to use McTominay in an area he doesn't really want to use him in. So that bit's true. When you look at Casemiro, who's won 5 Champions League and he can't pass the ball 5 yards now.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, it's not all on Ten Hag, those things. Players have to give accountability. And then we always also have the narrative of like, when are we going to, like, don't let the players get away with it. The players always survive, or the players don't pull their socks up. The players, like Marcus Rashford, going from scoring 30 goals a season, and we've seen quite a few performances this year where it looks like he's not running as intensely. You can say the manager's not getting enough out of him, why doesn't he respect you? But also, Marcus Rashford, where's your accountability?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He's got a new 350 grand deal. That's not, Ten Hag shouldn't have to make you run intensely. So it's hard. It's hard with that one.
It is just a mix. I mean, like we have seen a lot of tactical like errors in our game, and we've seen a lot of decisions where it's like, why are you bringing him on at this time?
Yeah.
There have been some of them, but we are an insanely different team with, I mean, even with like having Lindelof at left back, like the difference having Luke Shaw there, just someone who with their left foot can make the pass, can run, can overlap, like the difference it makes. Like when you talk about Premier League games, like the difference of 1% like can be the win or lose. When you've got an entire both left, I mean, where's Malacia? I mean, is he still alive? I mean, I don't know.
Was he at the team meeting? Was there any pictures of him?
No,
that meeting?
there was only a few that did not make it, so maybe he was one of them.
I think that someone raised that point, and yeah, he wasn't mentioned at any of the team
Someone
bonding
said
thing
he's
they
in
had
witness
the other day.
protection over that. Like,
I've seen that. That cracked me up.
But wherever he is, like we've not got any
Yeah.
like left back, and like the team's just so balanced. The morale's down. Like some players who were playing really well last season are in shit form, and like, Ten Hag has a lot of questions to answer for, but like injuries just are undoubtedly such a big part of.
Yeah, you can't you can look at it and like consider both ways, like you said. It doesn't have to be, the tactics haven't been good enough, so injuries don't matter at all. You can say that
Both were true.
Yeah. Ten Hag's probably made a lot of mistakes. There's probably not been enough progression for a lot of people to kind of want him to stay in the job long term under Ineos. But then you also go, you can't just dismiss the injuries because it's so many injuries. And then maybe some people can make the point that some of them have come from maybe Ten Hag's I know there's reports about the training kind of intensity, and the Luke Shaw problem is like he got injured. He got injured for what? But then also like he got injured for one game, and then he was back. But because Malacia was also injured, you had to bring Shaw back in, and then he had another injury which was more long term. So. You can't just say there's one or the other. It's a mix of both for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the injuries can be used as an excuse because it's so like almost biblical. What was it? I think there was like 43 separate injuries throughout the season or something I read the other day. And so obviously that's one player could be injured 4 times. 43 is nuts when you think some squads might have like 2 or 3 throughout the whole season, might have 1 player throughout the whole season. We've had several players who have had several long-term injuries. I think it's harsh to say that Ten Hag can't blame the injuries. Because you can't,
as
you guys said, it's a massive factor.
And there's several players who have been injured, got back and got re-injured.
Yeah.
Which is
The
like a massive blow.
Yeah.
Because you go, he's back.
The Rasmus one was a killer.
Yeah.
And obviously Martinez the biggest. It's like...
Yeah.
But yeah, they're 2 massive, like, irreplaceable, like, our centre-back who, like, dictates the way we play, and Hoyland, like, our only
just
number
got
9.
going. It took him so long to actually get going. Then go on a sick run.
Yeah.
And then out for 3 weeks, and he's back for something.
Yeah, and obviously one player who's been very reliable this season is Diogo Dalot.
Yeah, solid.
And the final hot take is from Raphael. Diogo Dalot would start for any Premier League club, and then in brackets, Trent in midfield to accommodate at Liverpool. Although I like Diogo Dalot, and I think he's a very good right back, he's not better than, assuming, like you said, move Trent in midfield, you're already admitting that he's not better than Trent, which he isn't. And I think players such as like Kyle Walker as well, he's not getting into City's team,
a lot of City fans aren't too happy with Kyle Walker at the moment, though, with performance-wise.
Yeah, he might have slipped off a little bit.
But I think that's probably, we don't want to overhype Dalot to make it like people hate on him, because he is amazing this season. I think the fact that we've had a poor season is really unfortunate for him, because I personally think he's been our best player. And do you remember when my hot take was up there? I was saying Diogo Dalot was my most underrated player. I was getting cooked on Twitter. he's been our best player this
he's
season.
probably going
and
to get player of the season as well, really.
I think it's quite similar to, was it Luke Shaw who got player of the season when we had a really bad year?
Yeah.
Under Mourinho.
Yes, I think
Or was it under, yeah, but it seems
on
quite similar
Solskjaer.
to that, like a consistent performer over a poor season.
It just shows how shit the team is as well. And the right back, who's not even like, he's not dropping 9s every game and like scoring and assisting.
It's just
he's
consistent.
He's
He's
doing
just a
his
good,
job
solid
fairly
player.
solidly. And to go like he's the best one. Like, is there anyone else in our team that you're like they've performed pretty consistently over the season?
No, it's slim
Maybe Johnny
pickings.
Evans.
Yeah,
Kind of.
Yeah.
it's slim pickings, bro. And
Yeah.
to be honest, I'll big up to Raphael, but you know, Arsenal wouldn't swap him for
Ben
for
White. Ben White's underrated, I think.
They
as well,
wouldn't.
Forgot about Ben White.
And when Reece James is fully fit, I know he's got problems being fit, but so did Dalot for a long time.
Yeah.
Like, he's not better than Reece James. Like, the best version of Reece James, he's not.
Yeah, he's. I think he's a very. I
Newcastle
think
fans wouldn't even swap him for Trippier. They wouldn't. Or Livramento, they probably wouldn't. Because Newcastle fans just got their guys. But no, I think Dalot's better than them.
Yeah, I think Dalot's up. I think you can. Maybe it's a bit premature because it's his first. Well, last
Spurs
season.
wouldn't swap him
last
for Porro.
se- Yeah, but then again, Porro at the start of Spurs was like they all hated him at first,
Yeah,
and then he
and
got
then he
into
grew
a
into
set
it.
system.
Exactly.
So I think it might be a bit of controversial opinion, but it might be more impressive that Dalot's having such a consistent season
Yeah.
in such a dodgy system where everyone's
100%.
concerned. So
But yeah, he deserves massive praise though for how he's
Yeah,
just
he
settled
does.
down.
Yeah.
And you actually forget he was on loan at AC Milan. Like, we had to send him away
yeah,
from it.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
Like-
he was like you said, he was really injury
He
prone.
played against us.
Yeah, him at Old
him
Trafford.
versus
League, yeah.
Wan-Bissaka. Wasn't
Yeah,
it?
like, so, you know, he's someone who's gone, I want to make it here. Like, I get it with the fans, I get it with the intensity and how to be physical and be passionate, and you know, now he just had to find a level of consistency in his performance. His mentality was always there.
Yeah, he's been
so,
brilliant. He's
yeah.
been a great signing.
He
I
has.
think probably one of United's pound for pound best signings.
He was
in
quite
the last 10
wasn't he
years.
like 18
Yeah.
mil.
About
Yeah.
18,
20
19
million,
million, yeah.
And Jose
Took a while.
Yeah,
he was
so
going to be amazing.
Yeah, fair play, Joe.
He's
I
not
don't know if
wrong.
he's got great PR as well, but you do always hear of like him staying behind the training, like working on his crossing, on his shooting. Like
Yeah, there's
he's
a
one
lot
of
of
them
stuff
people
which
that you
comes
think
out, doesn't there?
identifies his weaknesses and
Yeah.
works on them. And
His
it's working out
all-round
for
play has
Yeah.
really, I think, stepped up. We
His
kind of
crossing's been good in
Got better.
recent
we kind of
months.
saw it towards the end of last season, where there was that kind of Wan-Bissaka came in for a bit, and there was a bit of a
Yeah.
flip-flop. But then towards the end of the season, Ten Hag seemed really set on Dalot, and from this season, minute one.
To be fair,
And-
Wan-Bissaka's been injured the whole time as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they'd
but
both be playing right now as well with
Yeah,
the
they were.
injuries
Yeah,
at
Yeah,
left
Dalot
back.
Dalot
coming
would
in
be left back.
at
right
left
now.
back, he's pretty seamless, slotting in
He's
there
alright.
as well,
Fine
which
either
is
side, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
where he played at AC Milan, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he said he learnt a lot defensively there, like in
Yeah.
some interviews, and he has improved defensively.
Yeah,
I think
he
that's
has. He has.
I think that about wraps up episode 8 of What the Devil. Arthur, thank you very much for coming on the episode. Hope you
Thanks for
enjoyed.
having me, boys.
Yes, big man,
Appreciate
big
it.
up Arthur.
And remember to give us a like on YouTube, rate us 5 stars on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. If there's anything you want to see in the future, let us know down below. Any thoughts on what we said, let us know down below. Remember to subscribe as well. And apart from that, we'll see you next week.